What's the tipping point? So, I've spoken before, and probably forever speak about this as a topic, that a lot of people struggle with, when will I see results? And the answer always is, well, it depends. It depends on what kind of results we're looking for. It depends on what kind of work we're doing. It depends on, 1,001 different factors. It depends. But more often than not, one of the best skills, talents, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, that you can learn that will make a massive difference in your long-term success, your long-term happiness, is not focusing on the end result. Yes, it is important to have goals. Yes, it is important to have things that we can measure and track to ensure that we are on the right path. But within that, you are better off finding something that you can focus on the process. And we call them process goals, or action goals, so that you can focus on doing the stuff rather than the outcome. And the simplest way to always explain this is weight loss. So if you go, I want to lose 10 kilos. One, I would never position it that way. I think it's a fucking horrendous goal. And for this part of this reason. So the examples I give when we talk about weight loss and things of this nature is, well, when I was in university, when I was playing college basketball, we'd have preseason. And during preseason, they would weigh us at the start of the day, and then we'd go play for 10 hours. And then they'd weigh us at the end of the day. And within reason, I could lose between 5 and 7 kilos across that day. That's right, you heard it, 5 to 7 kilos. We'd go home, we'd eat, we'd drink, we'd sleep. And then we'd come back the next day and we'd do it all again. And they'd weigh us at the start to make sure that we'd put the majority of that weight back on, because most of that weight loss was actually water weight, just straight up due to all-out fucking exertion for an extended period of time. It's not fat. It's not the thing that you want to be losing. It's just weight. And weight can be thrown out by things like, crazy things like the moon cycle. Have you eaten carbohydrates? Did you eat too much salt? Did you not drink enough water? Are your hormones out? Did you sleep properly? All these kinds of things can completely throw off what's going on. And so weight as a measurement is not an accurate measuring tool for success. Fat loss is, getting a DEXA scan is, and that's what I recommend. If you go get a DEXA scan and then you commit to my 30-day weighted walk challenge, you will see the difference, because your muscle mass will go up while your body fat percentage will go down. And that's what you're actually looking for. You are actually looking for body composition change. So that's a better metric. But an even better version of tracking on that is focusing on action goals, because sometimes goals take longer than you think. We have a warped perception on how quickly things can be achieved. And as I said, good results can be achieved quickly, but you're better off focusing on the long-term process of what we are doing, of committing to action goals. Because if things don't go perfectly to plan and we've got an outcome goal set up, it's going to derail you. It's where so many people go wrong and they get disheartened and then they just stop doing what is required. And that's a fucking problem. So if you focus on an action goal, which is part of what is designed in the 30-day weighted walk challenge, is basically an action goal that for 30 days, for 45 minutes a day, you are going to go out there with weight on your shoulders and fucking get work done. That's an action goal. That is something you can commit to. The other ones, the outcome goals, are nice byproducts. They are benefits that you might gain from doing the fucking work, but they are not the point of what we're doing. That is not the focus of what we're doing. The focus of what we are doing is to commit to the process, to commit to doing the work. And that's where change comes from. Because what is the tipping point? It depends. What is the point that everything becomes easier? It fucking depends. But if we commit to the action, if we commit to doing that, then we know we're going to reach an outcome goal at some point. We know we're going to reach something special at some point. And that's the point. You know, it's why I teach 126 to Greatness. It's why I teach the 30-day weighted walk challenge. Because you just keep committing to the process. And eventually, the momentum will be so astronomical that the results will come in and they will be undeniable. And that is what we are chasing. And I see it in myself. I was thinking about it today, that today was not my best effort on my weighted walk. I'm not going to lie. I felt a little bit run down today, and I was not showing up as the best version of myself. I was not showing up in my best format. And yet, I was looking at, as I walked past a section, that I was like, this is so much further than my best used to be. That when I started the weighted walks, the level I was reaching, I was actually embarrassed that was the furthest I was getting. With half the weight, so with a 10 kilo weight vest, and sometimes even less weight than that, I was getting to a certain point. And I was like, if I only got that far now, I would be devastated in that. It's literally, I am covering over another kilometer worth of walking from doing this work. But I have never once focused on that being the whole sole outcome. Yes, I try and walk further every day, but I'm not focusing on the outcome. I'm focusing on that every day I fucking get out and do this work. That every day I must tick this box, that I am giving it my all, that I am doing the best I can absolutely giving every effort I have, and doing my best work. That's what I am doing every single day. That is what I am focusing on. That is the point of it. I am focusing on the action goal of doing the work, of being the best version of myself, and crushing my action goal every day. The action goal of doing a weighted walk with maximum effort. And that has delivered incredible results. As I said, what is the tipping point? I don't know. The weighted walk started with 126 to Greatness. And you can just keep, with my 30-day weighted walk challenge, you can just keep repeating it over and over and over and over again. So I'm up to day 164 of that. And I have levels within my weighted walk. So there's beginner, there's intermediate, there is advanced, and there is chasing greatness. And as of this week, based on what I am achieving, I'm going to have to put up my weight. I'm going to have to go to 25, maybe 30 kilos, because I have achieved chasing greatness distance on my weighted walks. But I achieved that because I just kept showing up, and they have become easy. You know, I put on a 10 kilo weight vest now and it feels like nothing. And I shatter those times. I absolutely destroy those times. And that's what this is about. Because I focused on the action goal, not the outcome goal. Yeah, I wanted to get leaner. That was my outcome goal as well, that I wanted to drop body fat. But I focused on the action goal of the weighted walks, of doing that. Because I'm not working out really at the moment. Because I had to take a step back and rehab some old injuries. I had to realize that I'm in my 30s. And I absolutely obliterated my body when I was in my 20s. And so I carry old injuries. And I was like, if I'm going to be the best father and the fun dad who can do fucking anything I want whenever I want, I need to start addressing some of those injuries. So for over 2 weeks now, I haven't done any weight-based training. I have only done rehabilitation exercises. And you know what? I am fucking destroying my outcome goal of getting leaner. Purely from the weighted walks. Every single day I get leaner. And I cannot wait in about another 4 weeks to go get a DEXA scan and to have clinical proof of how much extra body fat I have stripped away from doing just the weighted walks. But again, that comes from focusing on the action goals. So I don't know when the tipping point is, but I'm noticing the results. And it wasn't even, as I said, I didn't even realize till today as I blitzed past what used to be my best effort on distance for my weighted walks on a day where I felt like I was phoning it in. I could barely get that shit done. And on my good days, I'm now a kilometer ahead of where I used to be. Well, actually more than a kilometer, probably close to 1.3 kilometers further ahead than I used to be getting. And that comes from the action goals. So this is why we focus on this. This is why we structure things this way. Because momentum. It is the eighth wonder of the world. It is the most overlooked principle when it comes to not just fitness, not just exercise, not just fat loss, not just building muscle, none of that. But to everything you do, business, relationships, mindset, all of that kind of stuff. Momentum is the thing that will change the game for you. And it comes from consistently showing up for longer than you think it'll take without a loss of passion. Just keep showing up. Keep doing the work. Keep being the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. And focus on the action goals. I keep coming back to it because it's always the method that I utilize. The Seinfeld principle of you have one job, and it's how many days in a row can you mark off with a big X on the calendar that you completed the work. You know, if you start with my 30-day weighted walk challenge, it's one task, one allotment of 45 minutes a day. How many days can you string that together without a missed day? How many days in a row can you put that together? And then you watch as your whole world changes from just doing that action. From every day for 30 days, committing 45 minutes, strapping some weight to your body, and off you go. How much of a difference can that make? And your only goal is just to stack those wins. Just keep stacking those wins. But that consistency, that momentum will change everything for you. It'll change the game. And you don't know where the tipping point will be. You don't know when it'll tip into something astronomically life-alteringly changing your life. And when you reach that point, you'll be like, holy shit. And the goals that I'm kicking at the moment, when I started, I could not have imagined them. I could not have envisioned the goals that I am kicking right now. And that's part of it, because I didn't focus on that. What I focused on was my action goals, that I was going to be consistent. So that's what I focus on. I focus on being consistent above all else. And that's where the magic happens. That's where change comes from. And as I said, the tipping point has shifted over and over and over again as new momentum builds into new outcomes, into new achievements, into new milestones. And that's why it's more important than ever that you just focus on the action goals, or you focus on doing that work, on stacking your wins, just daily stacking your wins. That's where you'll make the breakthroughs. So that's all I have for you. Now, if you are ready to start stacking your daily wins, to progress into the next level of your life, to become the best version of you, and to see goal after goal after goal fall as you just focus on doing the work, then please message me. Join my 30-day weighted walk challenge, and let's see what a bit of consistency, with a bit of passion, with a bit of focus can do for you. It'll change your whole life. I have no doubt about that. If you're not quite ready for that, please click the link in my bio, join the Daily Greatness Mail, and grab my top 10 tools to transform your mental toughness. Lastly, if you are taking something of value from this, if you enjoyed it, if there was something of note, if it spoke to you, please like, comment, subscribe, and send it to someone else who needs to hear this so that I can help them too. That's all I have for you. Until next time.